Welcome back to the Artisan of Glimmith bonus world. Last time we made our way up this staircase to the level 7 puzzle in the tower. This time, we're going south, starting with a level 6 puzzle. So every shape must be a 1x3, 2x3, 1x4, 2x4, and of course we have the rose window rule and a Gemini rule. All right, 4 different shapes. All I can really do right now is just kind of look at the narrow hallways and take some guaranteed moves. We know this actually has to be a size 3, so start with that. It means this also must be a size 3, so this must be a 4 long. Okay, then this must be different than both the two completed shapes. So that's going to be a 2 by something, 2 by at least 3, and this will be identical. Now it could be 3 or 4. Now, realistically, if the shape above is going to get a circle, it's not going to be 2x4 like this. You can't have 2 circles in a shape. It's going to be this one. But I don't know how it'd continue yet. We also have what appears to be a 3x1 down here. No room for it to expand. Then this also must be a 3x1. So then I guess this is actually going to be a 2x4. Which, hold on. This needs somewhere to go, so it's going to go this way. So our 2x4 is going to go up here. And, you know, every empty space has to go to a rose window. I'm actually going to recolor these dark blue because I want the 2x3s to be this color. And I do believe that, let's actually go green. Green is a 2x3 here because we have to look at this cell. It can't be a box to up here, so it is going to go to this. Same with this cell. Can't go to here, so it's going to merge over. And it can't be a 3x3. So we need a 4x1 in here. And then a little decision making. Actually, this is going to be part of a 4x1 all the way up here. So both of these will be 4x1s. It's the only way this can extend 4 without hitting another one. I'm going to use purple as my unknown color. It's actually, no, it is known. It is 3 long because we got a circle stopping its expansion. Got another 3 long and then something different, which we actually don't have room for a 2x3. So it is going to be a 4 long coming down, which forces a 4 long in here. Now, it looks like we are going to have a 3 long right here, 3x1, so forcing a 3x1 and 3x1 down here. This is our first shape we're actually just going to mark purple with. Finally, could be 3 or 4 long. Look at the top. So we do have the 4 long. It can't go this way because we do have a delta symbol right there. So it is going to extend to the other circle, which means this is going to be a 3x1. But I don't know if it combines or not. There's a world in which it doesn't combine. Real quick, I can definitely mark a 2x3 here. So 4 long must go here. 3 long must go here, which actually means it does not combine. All right, good intel. Whatever this is comes out. Actually can't be a 3x1 because then we're going to have something here without a circle. So make that a 4 long. And a little 2x3 to fill in this space. Probably another purple coming out. Although, realistically, let's look at this cell. The only way it can meet a circle is if it does a 2x3 here. So this is actually going to have to come down and be a 4 long. Otherwise, it doesn't have a home. Whatever this is, it's got to come over here. It could be a 2x3 or a 3x1. We definitely have a 4 long here and a 2x3 here. And just finishing up, it looks like we have a 3 long, 2x3, 2x3, and a 4 long to round it out. Good first puzzle, but I mean, it's level 6. Ooh, got the first phase of the garden, which I think unlocked new puzzles. Great, more 6s and 7s. Either way, we got a bit of a journey to go. Now, it's just a shape bank. Only 3 possible shapes. Wow, that is impressive that that is a viable puzzle. I feel like I want to begin at the narrow choke point, but I mean, we could have this piece. Or we could have the zag. In fact, it would not go this way, but it would go this way. All the pieces are size 5. There are a total of 105, so that's 21 shapes. Whatever this is, it does go this way, but any further and we're not sure. Yeah, I actually don't have a great starting point yet. Wow, this is absurd. I have absolutely no idea how to start this puzzle. Like, I feel like bottom right corner, it's the most choke pointed area there is. So why can't I do anything with it? Well, maybe it's not the bottom right corner then. Maybe it's like the upper left corner. What shape is this part of? Let's explore a few options. All right, well, I obviously can't be the plus. The edge of the map gets in the way of that real easily. What about the big zag? I see a couple possibilities. Here, which immediately creates an invalid shape. Here, which leaves behind 1. And actually, that would be it. So it's not part of the big zag, so it must be the long piece. So it's going to be long, and then it's going to stick up either here or here, which it has to be here, because otherwise it would leave behind an island of 1. So there we go, first shape. Next, it looks like we are forced to do a zag coming out of here. It's the only one that fits. Then it looks like it's shaping up for a plus. Let me check the work on that. Yeah, no room for a long piece. And the zag would have to end here, which is out of bounds, or here, which would have to go through this. So no can do is a plus. Okay, this cell. I'm pretty sure this has to be a long piece. Plus does not fit with down here. And this zag would have to come here, but it'd have to pass through the middle, which is not happening. So it is long. And I guess the only way to not leave 1 behind is to do this. Then we'd have to have another long piece here. And then this, again, is going to be a long piece. The other pieces just aren't going to fit. So a lot of long pieces around the edge. What about here? This one actually could be a zag if we want it to be. However, what are we doing with this 2x3 here? How is that ever becoming anything? Right? Could just leave behind 2. No, nothing fits in there. So there's no way it's a zag. It is yet another long piece. This time, I am not sure which one comes up. That's okay. We have, well, actually we have this time, this could be a zag or a long one. If it's a long one, that's fine, because we can have another long one here. Well, but then, what are we doing here? We're doing the zag, that's what. Yeah, okay, so unfortunately that works. So all I really know is that it extends out. Again, I'll make the unknowns purple. Well, and I guess whatever this is has to extend out here, which does force the long piece to end here. And then it would continue here. So it could be merged or it could be not merged. In fact, I guess we always know this is part of a zag. We just don't know if it merges or continues on its own. If it were to continue on its own, what are we doing here? Not a plus. Maybe a zag, but we'd have 7 left behind, which is not divisible by 5. So we'd have to do a long piece, which then leaves behind 1 or 2. So I don't think the zag does this. I think it merges here. Complete zag. All right, how are we covering the bottom right now? I mean, the 2x3 is dangerous, but we have steps going into it. One way I do see is by doing this and that. Is there anything else? Nope. I looked, I didn't see anything. So let's run it. Get the zag in here. Well, now it's actually getting pretty open. Whatever this is, could be a zag. Well, could it? How are we handling the 2x2? That's already wrong. So that's not gonna be a zag. We know it's not a plus because the edge of the board. So I guess it's gonna be another long piece. Okay, this time it actually could go either way. So maybe upper right has something because it's got a too high sort of system. Looking at this corner, can't be a plus. If it was a zag, it'd have to do this, which leaves behind a 3 long like this. This is a no-go. Other option is here, which leaves behind 1. So once again, is another 4 long. There are so many 4 longs in this dangled puzzle. Can't go here. Chokes out the 1. So I'll put it here. This looks like it can only be a zag. And then this looks like it can only be a zag. Looks like there is a nice little plus shaping up in here. It's been a while since we've seen that. 2 pluses, few zags. All right, what about the bottom right corner? It's not going to be a 4 long because that's going to create some shape that doesn't really work. Even if this comes down, it still doesn't make sense. Can't be a plus, so it has to be a zag, which will go through these 2 spots. And if it goes this way, we leave behind an island of 2. So it's going this way. Something's wrong, though. That's because there's another option for the zag, and it would be this. That's right. It's not the end point. And that seems to be the only one that actually makes sense. So I'll mark it. This corner can't be a plus. Can't be a 4 long because it's either going to choke out 2 or 1. So it will be a zag. Only option is now this one. It looks like we got another plus forming here. Our third plus and possibly final. This looks to be a long piece. This looks to be a zag, and the long piece falls in place. Another level 6 down. We are cruising through these. Only like 18 minutes has passed in real time. What? It can only be size 1, 2, or 4 with the Mingle shape rules. Well, okay. A couple easy starts, right? We got 1, 2, and then this will be a 4. Just because the neighbor rule, which states that if you have Mingle shape, if 2 shapes are already bordering a cell, that cell is going to be part of the third shape, which is kind of wild how easy it actually is to get started. Let's see how far this will take us. It will take us about, well, it'll fill in all the top right. Love that. Yeah, a lot of easy moves. And of course, if you have narrow hallways, it's only one of 2 shapes, which does narrow things down nicely. But we're running out of narrow hallways, so let's think about it. If this piece were a 1 size, this could not be a 2x2. It wouldn't fit. So we have a 2x2 here and a 2 long, and it can't go down because again, we would need another 2x2 here, which does not fit. I guess I could fill in the entire bottom right by doing something like this. What about the rest? Okay, this part's actually a little tricky. I guess we know this here can't be a 1x1. Can't fit a 2x2 in between. So it's going to be 2x2. So it has to avoid the other 2x2 like this. Get a 2 long here. Same, this can't be a 1x1 because you can't fit a 2x2 in here. So only other option then is a 2x2, which can't go this way. So we force a 1 in here. And this can't go out because I would force another 1, which has the Mingle shape rule. So down we go. And then we can do neighbor rule and neighbor rule again. More neighbor rule. But which way? Honestly, pretty wild that this is tripping me up too. What do we got? I'm just gonna think and recolor until I get the stained glass colors I want. There we go, beautiful work of art. Is it small enough where the remaining area matters? No, because I mean like after this it's 20, which is still a lot of shapes. I think I see the whole thing at once. So I was kind of thinking about, could I ever just place 2x2s and then have like an alternating red-orange pattern around it? Well, if I were to do something like this, it would the pattern would then have to follow orange, red, orange, red, orange, red, orange, red, orange. I guess that works. Mostly because the idea of if you're doing the orange-red pattern around a 2x2, it will work with the Mingle shape rule. So you could just build with that in mind. Interesting way to come to that conclusion. How about I'm journeying up the hill and I'll make myself onto the bridge for our first level 7. It's a dude. All regions have different shapes. Okay. Okay, one thing that sticks out to me is that he's got 2 hands and they can't both be 2x2s. But if not a 2x2, what is the other option for a hand? The other option is doing a 2 long and then a 4 long. And I think that's it. Well, technically a 3 long is fine if you want to like continue this with a whatever long. But the 2 long is pretty much necessary. So we know that both the 2x2 and the 2 long are in the hands. So that means whatever we have here could be a 1 long, but it could not be a 3 long because it forces a 2 long down here. So that means this is our 1x1. Then that means whatever this is, it has to be a 3 long. Whatever this is, that's not how that works. Okay. So, okay, that means is going to be a 2 long and a 4 long in one of the hands. Just don't know which. And technically, this hand actually lets you go both ways. Actually, this could be longer than a 4 long if we wanted to. So that's interesting. So then I guess we can look at the 2 wides. Right, we got a 2 wide here, and we know it's not 2 long, so it's going to come out. And we know the 2x2 is already covered, so this will be our 2x3. And I actually don't know if the same thing works here, just because it's always possible for these to be like really long poles. I could look at this cell here. I mean, there's not many possibilities for it. I think 3x3 is going to be the only one, but let's take a look, right? Can't be a 1x1, 1x2, 1x3, or 2x2 is already covered, 2x3 is covered, so it is going to be a 3x3. So that means at its head, either it's a really long 1 long that, you know, draws lines down here, or it's at minimum a 2x4. And a line is still drawn here. That's the important part. The line is drawn here. That's what I want to distinguish. So now we got whatever this is coming out. And it must be actually at least a 4 long. Because again, we could have like a 2 long and a 5 long here or something. So it must be at least 4 long. That might be helpful. I almost wonder if it actually goes all the way down to this little nub right here. Because, I mean, the same idea actually applies with this cell and this cell. Whatever this is, it goes up at least this far. So we're going to have a 1 long corridor in here. And this certainly can't be size 4, because then we just have 2 of them. So I think it merges. I think it's that size. So I feel like it should fall soon. I don't know. I feel like I have to solve the whole thing at once. Also, I think there's going to be a lot more long one pieces somewhere. Like, let me just look at a division I was kind of conjuring in my head. You know, we got the 2x7, 2x4, 3x4, and 2x2. That's perfectly fine, actually. However, I don't know if that actually gives us anything for the right side, right? Like, it had to be a 1x2, 1x5, and then we're really out of options for this since the 2x4 has already been taken. Unless the option is that this is the 2x4 and this actually isn't. It's actually the 2x5, which creates a 5 long and a 7 long. But then we would have another 2x5. So close yet so far. Other options is making this the 4 long and 5 long, and then pairing it with the 6 long and 7 long here. But then we'd have duplicate 5 longs. Yeah, I don't know. It feels like I have to do all the rest of this in my head, but maybe there is like a very easy break-in instead. I kind of want to look at this cell. So there's a few options for it. It could be part of the 4 long that pairs with the 2 long. But then I think we're going to have some problems right here. Because now the biggest it could be is a 3x3. And everything under that size is accounted for. So I don't think this cell could ever go up like that. So what else could it be a part of? Could not be a part of a 3x4. Because then we'd be forced to have a duplicate 1s. And, well, that's the biggest it can be. So the only other one that hasn't been done yet is the 2x4 right here. Which has a 5 long and a 2 long. But aren't there problems? You know what? Maybe there aren't. Maybe I can do the 2x5 here and the rest could fall into place. All right, let's try 2x2 here. We actually don't have the 4 long yet. So what if I did a 4 long, hold on, a 6 long, a 2x6, and a 3x4? Damn, okay. I was actually really close with what I had in my head. Okay, but I'm glad I found the stepwise break-in. And the next one on top of the bridge, another level 7. Whoa, more boxy and mismatch. I actually really like this combination of rules. Especially seeing, wow, there are not many options for, or there are quite a few of one wide corridors, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, if we get rid of this, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, all below the size of 4, or including 4. So that's actually nice. Because we have a second line here, we know this has to be at least 2. But okay, 1x1 through 1x4 is accounted for. So this here is at least a 1x5. So I can mark these. And now all of a sudden, we actually can prove that this here then is the 1x4. So interesting start. There's no other 1 longs, but we do have 4 sets of 2 longs, which I believe at most are going to be a 2x5. And we know that the 2x1 is going to be accounted for on the edges. So it can, these can only be 2x2 through 2x5. So actually I should mark them as at least 2x2. And the one that is a 2x5, I guess literally can't be the bottom one, not enough space. But it's either going to block this off to be a size 2 or block one of the other ones off to be the 1x1. So that's interesting. That's all the 2 longs accounted for. Oh, wait, hold on. There's another 1 long I didn't even notice. This again also has to be at least size 5. I mean, technically, neither of them have to be exactly size 5. They could both keep going. Well, so I was thinking, okay, what about the 3s? But let's be honest. There are 4 pretty distinct large boxes in this puzzle. I guess kind of 5 if you count this area, right? 1 for each purple dot. So, I mean, it feels like the obvious way to go is do like a 5x4 here, a 5x5 here. You know, I actually might be able to get away with a 3x3 here. It would result in a 1x1 and 2x2, but we'd have a 3x5 here. And then the only catch is you couldn't do another 4x5 here, but you don't have to. You could do a 4x4 and just have this one be very long. And what's nice about this is this actually cooperates with the 2x3 here, 2x4 here, and 2x5 here, which results in a size 1 or size 2 here and size 3 here. Yeah, it's just that. It's just it. Honestly, I don't know if that deserves to be a difficulty level 7, but you have to realize, like, once the, the 1 longs and the 2 longs are eliminated, you have to accept the boxes for what they are. You can't subdivide them into smaller boxes because the smaller box is already out. So that's actually a pretty fascinating piece of logic. Next, we're going under the bridge for a level 6 with some watchtowers. Okay. The dots count how many regions are touching the clue. So if we have a 1 dot, that means all this is part of the same region. If we have 2 on an edge, that means there is a line here with 2 different regions. And a 1 on an edge, it means that these 2 are together. Now, okay, all regions must have an area of exactly 5 and be different shapes. Looks like there's 60 total cells, since I already marked 8. That's 12 shapes, and I believe there are 12 pentominoes, so we need 1 of every single pentomino. Well, where would I want to continue? I guess this shape actually is kind of curious, because let's look at what the possibilities are. Or rather, let's recognize what the boundaries are. The 3 watchtower prevents that shape from taking up 3 of the cells that surround the watchtower. So it could be a P piece that's like this, or it could be an L piece that's like this. And then we would need separate shapes. Or could it ever be something like this? Yeah, I suppose so. I don't know if that's actually conclusive enough to really do anything with, though. Oh, wait, no. This piece in the middle has to be the P piece. Yeah, because we already have the 2x2. No other pentomino can become the P piece. Okay, so that means this shape is out of the question. Okay, so actually, we really either have an L like this, technically also a long piece. No, it can't. Wait, no. It can't go down through here. No, because there has to be a line drawn here. We can't have an island of 2. So it's either this, with a line drawn here, and these being part of the same shape, or it could be this, or it could be this. I guess one thing for sure, these 2 are never connected, because we'd have to draw boundaries here, and then something's getting choked out to the right. So this is a line, which might be helpful. Lines can be helpful. I kind of want to look at where else lines could be. Like, what if this was not a line? This would have to be connected, and then we would have to have this. Well, this is not going to work with both sides of the same line. So therefore, there must be a line here. And likewise, there could not be a line here, because then we'd be forced to do another P piece and invalidate the watchtower. So whatever it is, these 2 are connected somehow, which means that there are lines here and here. So I can draw something coming out. And I guess then if there were a line here, we would be forced to do yet another P piece. While it looks fine, can't have 2 P pieces. So the line must go here, which is of course very well. I just don't know what orange merges with. Well, whatever this is must actually extend down. And then we actually approach the 2 watchtower here. It is possible this would extend here and then orange would go like this. And then that would force yellow to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Or probably more realistically do this. Well, no, both of these suck for this shape. I just wonder if I'm looking too many steps ahead right now. Like, do I even use that information? I don't know. I do feel like the 2s have to contribute, or the 2 watchtower. I feel like what's most likely is that we do something like this, but it's certainly not guaranteed. I'm not sure if it helps, but I'm pretty sure we need lines both here and here next to this 3, because the 1 connection is gonna come from this light blue. Imagine if it didn't. Well, then it actually might be all fine. God dang it. Yeah, this is remarkably not a problem. Except for the 1 piece here. Well, that does actually kind of make me worry a little about the 2 then. Because yellow would have to go into the 2, which would then force either a duplicate P piece in one of two ways, or just not have enough space to cover the whole thing. So I guess this blue expansion is not viable, the light blue one, and that's the only other possible expansion. So therefore, we draw lines here. Well, maybe I should then revisit the possibility or the potential impossibility of the purple doing this. Yellow would be forced to go here and then here, which means either the Watchtower or the red piece are just going to be wrong. So I guess that settles it. Yellow comes through here. That's all I know. We do know these don't merge, right? We just went over that. Okay, I've been looking for a bit just for any scraps. A scrap I found is this. Yellow can't go left from here because this piece is going to have to merge with blue. But then we draw a line here, and blue would then have to come over here and invalidate that Watchtower. Very small scrap. Sometimes we take what we can get. That does mean yellow can't go twice in this direction, so it must go once in this direction, and thus blocking off maroon to be marooned out here. So we also have the big L shape, which means I'm pretty sure cyan can't go up, because it would have to cover here as well, and then yellow would have to fill in here. This line had to be drawn, so it couldn't be the same shape, and it can't play with the Watchtower here. Both are invalid, so you stay down, and then you must expand out at least that far. So that also pretty much confirms blue, light blue is going to be the long piece. Just don't know how it's expanding yet. Okay, I have a hunch that yellow doesn't go down because I don't like the piece it forms right now. Whatever comes out is, it's not going to go left because it can't do that, right? So it'd have to go up even further, and then it can't go down, so it's going to make the same shape again. So yellow's the T piece, and then long piece goes here. I guess another scrap is red can't do this, because whatever piece this is would have to extend out and either ruin the Watchtower or block in these three. So that's a good barrier. That means whatever shape is here is going to have to go here as well, because that's the only place red could not reach within this 2-pipper Watchtower. And I mean, I feel like it's an M, but I just can't prove it yet. Other options is maybe it could be a zag. Well, no, because then we still have the same problem here with the M. In fact, can't we prove these two are never connected? As in, there has to be a line here? If these two were connected, let's look at the possibilities. If it doesn't merge with this, then we have the problem where it chokes off one of the two things we've been talking about. And if it does merge with this, well, we'd have to make another P piece. And that makes two of them. So there must be a line between the two, which means that this does connect and then form an M piece. Okay, there's my proof. I think then that proves these two have to merge, because if they didn't, they would both go out, just complete their two. And then we would have to have either a 3 invalidated in one of many ways, or an island of 1. So yeah, let's merge them. Then I think red can't ever go over here, because we would be forced to draw these lines, which then forces another P piece. So you stay out. Whatever this is comes up, and that's the connection, so these lines are also drawn, which does mean these have to merge. Okay, good stuff. Then this, I believe, has to go down, because if it were a different shape, that would pretty much force this to become another long piece, which no can do. So it's either this shape, which we actually don't have yet, or it's this shape, which we also don't have yet. Oh God, I think it's actually gonna ask me to solve the rest of the puzzle all at once now. All right, so you know what? Here's how I'm actually gonna approach this. Where the hell is the plus? You know, it can't go here because it leaves behind an island of 3. And we can't really have it hug a corner because it leaves behind an island of 1. Can it be along the edge at all? Maybe. We'd have to have a U piece. But we'd be setting up another P piece, so this would have to come in, but then we'd have another long piece. So that doesn't work either. All right, this spot. Another U piece. Whoops. And then, okay, this may work. Hold on, let me see this through. Yep, I believe that should be good. That gets the rest of the puzzle. All right, sometimes you just gotta do the whole thing. Yeesh. And that completes the bottom section of the island. So we'll pick it up next time. My brain's starting to hurt. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next video. Have a wonderful day and peace.